10 moments that made absolutely no sense in WWE. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Number 10. John Cena's Year from Hell. The main storyline heading into WrestleMania 29 centered around John Cena. WWE were trying to portray the narrative that Cena had undergone the Year from Hell in 2012. From WWE's perspective, Cena had the worst year of his professional career, and this all stemmed from losing to The Rock in the main event of WrestleMania 28. The plot made no sense whatsoever, mainly because Cena had great success in the aforementioned year. Following Cena's loss to The Rock, Cena would defeat Brock Lesnar on pay-per-view in one of the biggest upsets of Lesnar's career, and then he would proceed to defeat The Big Show in a steel cage match and even won the Money in the Bank briefcase. Just because Cena didn't have a world title reign in 2012 didn't automatically mean it was a failure of a year. It was a weak storyline that ultimately hindered the excitement for Cena vs. Rock Part 2. Number 9. Shayna Baszler turns on Ronda Rousey. The 2023 Money in the Bank event saw a shocking moment take place as Shayna Baszler turned on her tag team partner Ronda Rousey. At the time, the duo were women's tag team champions, and by Baszler turning on Rousey, she in essence cost herself the tag titles. One of the reasons why this was so unexpected was that it wasn't remotely hinted on WWE TV. The duo showed no signs of breaking apart. In fact, they were presented as a solid and consistent unit. Baszler's explanation for the turn only added to the confusion further, as she would claim that Rousey took away her love for pro wrestling. This was a bizarre explanation that definitely influenced how little the feud impacted fans. Number 8. The formation of the two-man power trip. One of the most personal and intense rivalries of the Attitude Era was between Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The two legends loathed each other, yet their story took a complete unexpected twist when the two joined forces on the night after WrestleMania 17. The game would assist Austin in attacking The Rock, and the two would proceed to take over WWE, naming themselves the Two-Man Power Trip. It was a bold approach from WWE, yet the issue was that it made no sense whatsoever. Why would the game and Austin suddenly be best friends? No genuine kayfabe explanation was offered as to why the two had just joined forces, and WWE fans were supposed to forget that the fact that these two were attempting to end each other's careers just 2 months prior. Number 7. John Cena's Money in the Bank return. The 2023 Money in the Bank event took place from London, England, and the show featured the surprise return of John Cena. It was wonderful to see Cena, and the UK crowd gave Cena a thunderous ovation. His promo was predominantly focused around potentially bringing WrestleMania to the UK, as Cena teased this so heavily that it looked like a subsequent announcement was coming, yet it never came. It was later reported that there were no current plans to bring WrestleMania to the UK, which in turn made Cena's WrestleMania tease completely pointless. Ultimately, if WrestleMania never comes to the UK, then this is a segment that's going to age terribly in years to come. Number 6. Brock Lesnar turns on Cody Rhodes. The night after Mania is traditionally a night where anything and everything can happen. The night after WrestleMania 39 saw Brock Lesnar turn heel by attacking his tag team partner Cody Rhodes. While somewhat predictable, fans hoped a solid explanation would be offered by Lesnar and WWE in the coming weeks, yet fans kept waiting and waiting for an explanation that never arrived. Now, Wade Barrett made a passing comment that Lesnar could have potentially been upset with his WrestleMania placement. Lesnar was in the opening match of Night 2 of WrestleMania 39 against Omos, yet this is a spot that Lesnar had been in before. One of the ways WWE could have handled the explanation was to state that Lesnar was paid off by Paul Heyman as a way to keep Rhodes away from Roman Reigns. This would have made sound logical sense, yet WWE decided to keep the motives behind the storyline in a state of flux for the entire duration of the rivalry. Number 5. Kane's fashion. During the Attitude Era, WWE did everything they could to keep the mystique surrounding Kane intact. Kane would always appear with his mask on, and whenever Kane would leave the arena, he would wear a face covering so nobody could see what he looked like. However, in an unusual move on Raw in '98, Kane was shown arriving at the arena in a night tracksuit. This was a striking visual which made zero sense. WWE was trying to portray Kane as a demonic psychopath, yet this so-called demonic monster had the ability to walk around publicly in a mask as long as he had his brand new night tracksuit. Kane would never wear this attire again on camera, and fans remained baffled as to what WWE and Kane were even thinking. Number 4. Edge abruptly turns heel. Turning WWE Hall of Famer Edge heel was always going to be a risky move. Edge was beloved by the WWE fans, and turning a beloved name into a heel can have significant consequences if it goes wrong. In 2022, on the road to WrestleMania 38, Edge issued an open challenge for WrestleMania, and it was accepted by AJ Styles. In a shocking turn of events, Edge would brutally attack AJ to set up a WrestleMania match. This heel turn came out of nowhere, and there seemed no justification for Edge to suddenly embrace his villainous side once again. In the following weeks, Edge would debut a new gothic persona, and Edge seemed to have a grievance with the fans, despite them showing the multi-time world champion nothing but universal love since his return. It was hardly a surprise that Edge's heel run would last just a few short months, which was the right move, as fans as well as Edge himself knew that a heel run in 2022 just wasn't going to work. Number 3. Edge has supernatural powers. And speaking of Edge's disastrous 2022 heel run, one of the character elements that was introduced was the Edge now had supernatural abilities. Edge had the ability to appear out of nowhere and somehow had the ability to influence the lighting in the arena. Outside of Edge's brief involvement with the Ministry of Darkness, it was never explained to the audience that Edge now had supernatural abilities, and if he did, this remained dormant for over 20 years. Edge quite rightly was against the more supernatural elements of his heel character, and according to the WWE legend, they wanted to take the goofy supernatural aspects even further. Edge revealed in an interview with Sam Roberts that WWE wanted his stable to have cauldrons and even float to the ring. Yikes. Number 2. Vince McMahon forgives Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. WrestleMania 16 featured a huge plot twist as Vince McMahon turned on The Rock and officially joined forces with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. The reason as to why this was such a huge twist was because Triple H and Stephanie had made McMahon's life a living hell for months, and the game of McMahon even engaged in a pay-per-view match just a few months before WrestleMania 16. To make this work, WWE needed to deliver a compelling yet logical answer as to why McMahon had decided to put the bad blood behind him. Instead, on the Raw after WrestleMania 16, McMahon came down to the ring and simply decided to insult the crowd's appearance. It was horribly done, and WWE, despite having one of the strongest TV products in their history at the time, really dropped the ball when it came to this specific story arc. And number 1, Jimmy Uso turns on Jey Uso. Although the WWE product was red hot in 2023, the main event of SummerSlam was a colossal letdown. The main event saw Roman Reigns take on Jey Uso in a tribal combat match, and the finish featured Jimmy Uso turning heel and attacking his own brother. The first issue with this was that the match wasn't supposed to feature any outside interference, and the second issue was that the heel turn was incredibly frustrating. Based on WWE storytelling, Jimmy had no reason to turn on Jey, and WWE clearly knew this as Jimmy could barely deliver an answer as to why he turned on his brother. On the following SmackDown, Jimmy explained that he didn't want Jey to win at SummerSlam because he would have become the new tribal chief, and this would have meant the end of the Usos. Jimmy would begin to berate Reigns in his promo, and despite this verbal bashing, Jimmy would join Reigns anyway and remain at his side with no questions asked. The Usos engaging in a feud is something that fans have wanted to see for a long time, yet the way WWE set the feud was terribly done. Jimmy's character motivations are all over the place, and it doesn't matter that he's a heel, every motivation, no matter if the wrestling character is a heel or babyface, should have some genuine, realistic logic attached to it. But there you have it folks, 10 WWE moments that made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.